This is Matt Crane on another episode of The Lantern with MGMT Boston. We have Erik Duhaime, the co-founder and CEO of Centaur Labs, a really awesome health tech startup. So we're going to talk about what's going on in the company today, ending the year 2024, heading into 2025, what he has learned building startups, and a little bit of everything in there. So Erik, welcome.
Great, thanks for having me.
First question, tell us what Centaur Labs is. What are you building?
So Centaur Labs provides a platform and services for data annotation for companies that are building artificial intelligence in the medical and life sciences. So for folks that don't know what data annotation is, people are probably familiar with when you log on to Google and you sometimes need to point at crosswalks and trees and cars to prove you're not a robot. The reason that is often auto-related is because you're actually helping to train self-driving cars. The way that AI learns is you need a bunch of examples of these are crosswalks, these are not crosswalks. You feed that to the GPU, and then that's how you build an artificial intelligence algorithm. So we do that for companies building artificial intelligence in the medical and life sciences. It's not that simple to have, you can't have random people on the internet tag, these have lung cancer, these do not, or whatever the problem is.
Sure.
So the way that we do that is we have a network of tens of thousands of medical students, PhDs, nurses, doctors around the world who are all competing with each other to prove that they're the best data annotator in order to tag data for our clients.
Very cool. A different use case of gamifying than I've heard.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened in this company, and there's a lot of problems to solve to really, to attack that space. What are some of the things that you've thought about entering 2025 and really ending 2024 in terms of a customer standpoint, business milestone perspective that you want to tout for the audience?
So one way that we see the space evolving is historically, clients have spent most of their effort annotating training data sets. So first building a big data set so they can make a model. Now, as we're seeing AI develop further and the market develop further, we're seeing more and more clients who are leveraging us for what I would call monitoring or evaluation. So now I've got a chatbot. It's a patient-facing chatbot that can help fill someone's prescription or triage their symptoms. I need to know that that chatbot is working well and that it keeps working well. And the way to do that is to have experts in the loop that are spot checking conversations and rating how they're going. An example I've been giving lately is fine, even if you've got a chatbot that works well today, it doesn't mean it's going to work well when you push a change, and it doesn't mean it's going to work well as the world changes. So whatever the next version of kids eating TidePods is, your chatbot's not necessarily going to know what that is when that new problem arises. And you need to make sure that the thing is working well when you're providing medical advice.
Yeah. Now, very exciting milestone. You took on a $16 million Series B, and I believe in October it was announced. That will be deployed next year. What are some of the ways you're thinking about making those investments?
Yeah, so we've been growing pretty quickly for the last few years. We've been doubling or more for the last 2 or 3 years.
Incredible.
And a lot of that has been with a very lean team, and especially a very lean sales and marketing team. So, we're hiring for a number of roles. We're about 25 people now. We'll grow to about 40 over the course of next year. And a lot of those roles are in sales and marketing.
Awesome.
So, we'll hire maybe 10 of those roles are sales folks, marketing, and then 1 or 2 other roles.
Be on the lookout for that. Now, building this startup, Centaur Labs, what are some of the things you've learned through that process, whether that's the individual learnings, scaling companies? What are some of those things that you would pass back to the members of the community?
Yeah, I'd say it's both a marathon and a sprint, but yes. I think given what people see in the media, everyone thinks it's always a sprint. We're not staying up until 3 a.m. chugging Red Bull and coding. We recognize that, it's about consistency and about making incremental change every day. So, one thing I tell people when they join is every day it is a grind. It's not just playing ping pong or whatever you see in movies. And it can feel like a grind like anywhere else. But then when you look back, think about where we were 6 months ago or 6 months before that. That's what's really motivating, is just how quickly things change when you're thinking in terms of months or years and not on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. And last but not least, how can we help you? How can we help the Centaur Labs team grow in Boston and beyond?
Well, I mentioned that we're hiring for a lot of roles. So
be on the lookout for that.
Sales, marketing, and then we're also hiring for a product leader. So I'd say the 2 most critical roles would be a VP of sales, a sales leader, and then also a product leader at the company. But we're hiring across the org. So, if you know good people, especially if they're based in Boston, we'd love to chat with them.
We'll link that in the comments below. Matt from MGMT Boston. This is Erik from Centaur Labs. Thanks for joining us.